Happy Trails, MTB. All right, we got something a little bit different for you today. You've seen us on our adventures. When we first started this channel, we had the Tepui rooftop tent built on a Harbor Freight trailer. Then we upgraded to the Viking 12.0 TD Max clipper. We got that in, I think it was February or March of 2022. And it was small, and in retrospect, it was in fact too small. So this past week, we've upgraded. Let's take a look and see what followed us home. All right, here we are. We've got the Jayco Jayflight 174BH, which stands for bunkhouse. Because really that's what Reagan needed. She needed bunk beds. Or we needed bunk beds in order to accommodate her. And I did a lot of research on this thing and almost pulled the trigger on a regular 174BH, but then realized that what I needed their STX package. On the East Coast, they call it STX. On the West Coast, they call it Baja. Why did I need it? Well, because it's got mountains on the side. Okay. Not really. Why I really wanted this, I do enjoy the extra ground clearance. We boondock, we go on through fields with ruts, a lot of fire roads, and this one comes correct with a spring over axle lift and aluminum wheels with 225/75/16 Goodyear Wranglers, so I really like that. It does have a nice aluminum fender. The STX package also gets you the front stabilizer jacks, where the regular one does not. You get an upgraded 30-pound propane tank, and you also get the electric tongue jack. Primarily, I wanted the lift in the tires. Quite frankly, the front stabilizers were good too. This one also came equipped with the Overlander package, which also adds a 200-watt solar panel on the roof and a solar charge controller, so we can pretty reliably boondock for a weekend on this thing. Let's go inside and take a look. Okay, before we check out the inside, what were the criteria? The criteria was that the Maverick had to tow it. Maverick tows 4,000 pounds with the tow package, and so I wanted something that was pretty much topped out at 3,000 dry, and this fits the bill at, it's like 3,100, so it still gives me a nice buffer to load some stuff in it and feel confident that I'm not overworking the Maverick. We just got done with our first trip with it out to Big Bear Lake in West Virginia. Lots of mountain passes, if you will, and it worked hard and you could feel it, but it did the trick. Some of the other criteria, and by the way, the real reason we did the STX package with the lift, our alley. But in all seriousness, we're in a row home right outside of Baltimore City, and I needed something. I wanted to get the biggest thing that I could both tow at the Maverick and then park there. And I can assure you I've got to grease the hips to back this thing in, and this is about as big as will fit in that spot. So this fit the criteria, kind of getting the smallest bunkhouse I could find. So let's check her out. Okay, here you've got your RV short queen. RV short queen bed, and good for Jayco for using a mattress that we can actually sleep on. It's really not bad. We did add a 2.5-inch like feather bed on there, and that made it better. But yeah, we just did 2 nights in it, and it's just fine. There's our solar charge control. You know, it's got good storage. We like the Jayco. It uses really good construction. We can already see a big improvement in quality versus the clipper that we traded on this. Let's see here, there's a light I don't have turned on. I do like that we can separate and get some privacy. Reagan has her own space, we have our own space, so that's really nice. Dinette comfortably fits 2 adults or more with kids. You can sit like a camp chair there and do a 3rd adult. Decent kitchen. I like that it has a better faucet than what came in our last one, which only came about that high up the sink, so that made life a little bit difficult. It's got a 2-burner Dometic, which we rarely use. We use it to boil water for pasta and stuff, but otherwise we're cooking out on the griddle. Microwave, which again, rarely going to use. Of course, this one does have air. That's kind of, I think, standard at this point in these things. The other thing I like is with the Bluetooth stereo, you have 2 zones. It's got 2 speakers inside the coach, and it's got 2 more outside, and you can choose between zone 1, zone 2, or both in and out. So I really like that aspect of it. The other thing is the 12-volt Norcold fridge. Game changer, because now it can run off battery, and the solar up top is enough to keep it going. And you get a nice size freezer, and for a trailer this size, that's a huge fridge. And then we put these drapes up for Reagan. She's already had slumber parties in this thing. Last night at Big Bear, she had 3 girls slept in 2 bunks. So fun stuff. And they're 6'3" long, so I could even do like a guy's trip. And fit a couple buddies in here because they're 300-pound limit and 6'3" long, so kind of good enough for government work. And then finally, kind of a legit bathroom, which I dig too. So far, after 1 weekend in this thing, we are super stoked. Really enjoying it. We're already booked for the end of October in Stokesville, so stay tuned for that one. And always remember, stay rowdy, my friends.